What is it this time, Torgal? Something tells me this is no mere adventure story. Thank you, Uncle.
As for down here... Clive! Rutherford informs me that we owe you our thanks. Hadn't intended for you to get involved, but such are the times.
I would have done the same for anyone.
You're far too modest, Clive. You'd make a terrible nobleman.
From what little I saw.
I suppose I should have... But I was rather hoping the great and good of the realm might have things a little more... Alas, it seems that firm leadership is in short supply these days, and with that we must move.
But where do we start?
True, the challenges that face us are many. The realm's armies, as you've seen firsthand, it's certain cities have banded together to try and yet, the only remedy for the chaos that faces us, in short, if storm...
But how would one even begin?
The armies, my boy. As I told you already. Sadly, I doubt I could convince even the lowliest gaggle of privates to dig a latrine together. But I do know someone the High Commanders have been known to listen to on occasion.
I thought he was...
He was, until an Akashic army tore through Randalar, and as luck would have it,
Of course, yeah.
And he's agreed to help. Havel has always been a man of frustratingly rigid principle. I extolled your many virtues as best I could, of course, but you don't mind.
Of course not. As long as chaos reigns, we will never build a better world. And if the Field Marshal wishes to speak with... I'll leave for Randalar. Would you send a stoat?
Of course. Rutherford is already in the Dalmekian capital.
Excellent.
No.
Ah, Clive. This is it then, brother. Indeed.
You're wrong.
Of course.
Joshua, what's wrong?
I've received word from Cyril. The Undying.
His will.
In the crypt, beneath Ros, after Kupka was kind enough to drive out the Imperials, the Undying took the... And in the process of doing so...
I'm surprised anything survived.
Cyril asked that I join him in Tabor at my convenience.
Of course. I want to know what's in that letter as much as you do.
Very well.
Sid,
By all means.
it's my old master. Seems there's no escaping. And something else. Records from a Waluda prison.
How did she come by such...
Finding bearers always was, and it seems the cells of Balmung Dark are full of them. Foreign cat, and even better for her. Bearers with no one to look after them. When Ether started...
Leaving the bearers to be liberated, but...
Sid, I'd like to believe that while I'm well aware that you've forbidden Cursebreakers from traveling to Walud, I can't let those bearers die in their cells. I'd rather risk shipwreck on the Shadow Coast than leave...
We'll be needing the Enterprise if...
Does that mean...
I'm making an exception, and we stay no longer than we have to. Ash is an inhospitable place at the best of times.
Thank you, Sid. Chadwick. Another of my former thought of him held
He must be very important.
He was.
Then we find him.
The entrance to the prison lies in the shadow of... We should head there as quickly as we can.
As do I.
Sid, I was wondering if you could help me.
It depends what with.
A bearer, but recently freed from his bonds, is keen to join the Cursebreakers. As you know, the work we do is not easy, which is why we test every volunteer's suitability. I was hoping you could oversee this one's evaluation.
I don't mind, but...
Because our ranks are filled with men and women capable of breaking scouting. We're few with the nose for that, which is why we still rely so heavily, and since he accompanies you on so many of your missions, I thought you might be better.
Sounds reasonable.
So you're happy to oversee the boys'
One can never have...
True a word. I'll let the initiate know that you be attentive and that he is to proceed directly to Norfolk.
No time like the present.
No time like the present.
Northreach. I don't suppose they could have chosen somewhere closer.
What do you think happened to Miss Midadol?
Sid, you have to help us.
With what? You did...
No. Well, yes.
It's Miss Midadol. Very strange.
When she is, she acts like we aren't even there.
In the cloud.
That's what I said.
Well, she does have a lot on her mind.
Not long ago.
Then it's probably just about the Enterprise.
You didn't break it, did you, Sid? Oh, don't listen to her. Even if you...
But who's gonna put Miss Mididol back together?
Why don't I go and...
You do. She's in.
Don't scare him.
Thanks for the warning.
Miss Shirley says your books made quite an impression on the children.
There's a new mother. Passing over it won't see the hence.
One moment you think you've freed the realm from her fate. The next, a darker one rears up to replace it. What awaits us when we finally attain release? True freedom supposes magic.
I will not let them be forgotten. Sid.
Of course.
It is an honor to find my name is Herman. I wish to be deployed to
No. I will not send good men and women to risk their lives needlessly. Why would you want to go back?
I need to retrieve something. Something important. I was raised in an orphanage. The Badbach Conservatory. Or rather, I was held captive there. It was not a place of nurture. It existed solely to turn bearer children into mindless weapons. We were tortured until we feared no pain. Tormented until our hearts turned to stone. And few ever survived long enough to become tools of the last king.
I can't imagine.
I lost so many. I can't even remember all their names. But they must be remembered. They cannot fade away, faceless and forgotten. The Institute was run with military precision. Every child measured, every name recorded, every death logged with meticulous care. Sid, allow me to travel to Ash and recover the registry so that my brothers and sisters might live on.
You were a good friend, Herman. But the fact remains that Ash is simply too dangerous.
Sid, please.
Too dangerous for you, Herman. I'll go to Bad Bach and fight.
You will?
I won't let you risk your life.
I don't know how to thank you.
You can start by telling me where I'll find this orphanage.
Vida Grace.
All right.
May the mothers.
Nazaire might at least have mentioned where in Northreach he'd be testing this recruit.
Harrison is threatening to pull their sentries from the market.
I would speak with this Duke.
Saw the captain just now. Wasn't wearing his uniform.
Because he handed it in along with his suit.
Your town needs you. I need you.
But the Duke would have me clapped in irons.
Do you have a moment?
What is it?
It's the Duke, unsurprisingly. His Eminence says the town was left all but unguarded, so Philippe was compelled to form a citizen, and though my dear boys have been characteristically willing to assist him in this, so I was wondering if you would lend them your strength.
Of course.
Thank you, Clive. Philippe told me he had...
Where can I find the mistress of...
Here, my lady. To whom do I have the...
My name is Sabine, and it is my displeasure to be the daughter of the Duke of Oriflamme, who I understand is causing you... I wish to speak to you about what might be...
Very well. I trust you'll forgive...
Absolutely.
Please.
As you know, my father is a most overbearing and supercilious man, and I join you in objecting to his every action. Indeed, I owe you my thanks for continuing to argue against... Yet I fear he is not one to be swayed. He must be made to face the consequences.
And who?
I would. Myself and several others. Were you to join us, we would surely have the strength to...
Does that not seem a trifle?
Drastic action is precisely what is called for. My father would have it that citizens exist only to serve the Empire. That they should be forced to make every sacrifice to ensure her revival. But he is wrong. It is not the people who must serve the Empire, but the Empire who must serve her people. He's always been like this. Scornful of the opinions of anyone he judged beneath him. But he cannot be allowed to ride roughshod over the common folk any longer. We must fight him by all possible means.
Fight him? No. My purpose is to quell the tension in Northreach, not to stoke it. Respectfully, my lady. Our only chance of saving this town depends upon every one of us uniting against our common enemy. Your father and his followers included. While I understand your frustrations, I cling to the hope that he may yet be won round.
False hope, I assure you. But I see that your mind is made up. I shall bother you no longer. If you will extend me the same courtesy, I bid you good day.
She certainly has spirit.
Indeed. But unfortunately for us, that spirit is only likely to harden the Duke's resolve, which may be enough to seal the fate of this town. Not that she cares. This is all about her and her father.
Families.
I'm sorry, where were we? Ah, yes. I was about to tell you of Philippe's plans for the town watch, but perhaps it's better that you heard them from him. I believe he's in the market, if you'd be so kind as to seek him out.
Right away.
It's just a pity I cannot join you. I'd like to see the two of you in action together.
Here to help me pack? Thanks, but I'll be traveling light. I'm almost finished already, in fact.
You're really going to go through with this, then?
I am. But before I go...
If it's within my power to help you.
It's the children. I refuse, and if I leave them here, they surely will. Our friendship would see them ostracized. I can think of only one place where they are certain to be safe.
Of course. The children would be more than welcome.
Thank you, Clive. I will not forget this.
Lubor!
What is it, Ferda?
There's been a flood in the Velcroy. A damn big one. The League of Outlaws encampment was completely submerged.
What?
Every last one of the bastards has...
Bandits are one thing, but Akashic bandits are quite... We need to evacuate. Ferda, gather them. The Akashic may strike at any moment. We must... Well?
Yes, my lord.
Clive, change of... The children stay with me for now. Tell them to prepare for a full...
Understood.
I'll do what I can to convince...
Your Grace, my lord, I trust your journey was not overly onerous.
Cyril, you found a letter from Father?
Yes, I have it here. If you would do us the honor, my lord.
An inheritance.
It would seem the late Archduke penned this missive shortly before his passing.
The day before we left for Phoenix Gate.
What are these plans he spoke of?
His plans for the duchy, Your Grace. Your father entrusted them to my predecessor, the former bearer of the Burning Quill, who entrusted them in turn to me. The complete emancipation of bearers is their stated aim. But your father's dream did not end there. His Grace also spoke of building hospices to care for those stricken by the curse, and the founding of a new university to further the development of non-magical technologies. With the blight spreading ever more widely across the twins, Archduke Elwyn saw this as the only means of securing Rosaria's survival.
He wished to see men and bearers treated as equals. To see centuries of common wisdom overturned. Small wonder he did not think it achievable within his lifetime.
But he thought it achievable nonetheless. Had he not, he would never have written this message. Nor would he have entrusted his vision to his most faithful aides. Those who would have stood with you, shielded you from the machinations of the less benevolent personages at court.
It's a pity only they are still with us.
'Tis true that those most loyal to your father were the first to suffer the Duchess's wrath. But one at least remains, and she has come bearing gifts.
What do you mean?
Mayhap it is better that she explain, my lord. After all, the duties entrusted to me by my predecessor extended only to recovering His Grace's will and arranging a meeting with the one who might execute it, or a part of it, at least.
And where is this woman?
She awaits you in the archive, Your Grace.
Thank you, Cyril. Shall we then?
Lord Marquis.
What is it, sir?
One of our brethren lately journeyed across the strait in order to pursue a new avenue of inquiry in our ongoing investigation. He sent an owl some while ago, but we have heard naught from him since.
Was he surveying another fallen ruin?
No. The object of his study was a savior cult that has arisen in Ash in recent years. An ancient religion that worked by gaining an understanding of this new faith.
And so you sent one of your brothers to Ash?
Fully cognizant, I entrusted the mission to one of the most able of our order. Though he has been silent for some days now, I have thus far yet... It seemed only right to inform you of the situation, for as you so earnestly advised me,
But Ash is a big place.
Perhaps. The last owl I received, Mickleberg was its name. It lies in the... If aught ill...
Right.
You are much. Go then, with my hopes.
If this new faith really is an offshoot of the Circle of Malleus, then...
Let's concentrate on finding the third chair first, shall we?
My lord. I am Goditha, retainer of House Rosfield. Your father, the Archduke Elwyn, entrusted me with the delivery of a gift. I only hope you can forgive my tardiness in bringing it to you.
Lift up your head, Lady Goditha. You have our gratitude for your service to our house and to our father.
I merely did my duty, as any proud Rosarian would.
My lady, perhaps you could explain a little more? What exactly is the gift you bring?
As I'm sure you know, it has long been the custom for the children of House Rosfield to be presented with certain keepsakes upon their coming of age.
Indeed it has. Our father often spoke.
And had he lived to see it, he would have presented you with the treasures I bear. Matching armbands for you both. Alas, he did not live. He had intended to claim the Heartstone with which each armband was to be finished himself, but it was not to be.
I see.
It saddens me to bring them. It was your father's wish that you be presented, but with his grace long since gone. And this, you are grown men now. And while I would not presume to insist upon, I know that nothing...
Thank you. What say you? What else? Of course, my lady.
Oh, I am much...
Do you know where we might find this?
I do. Though it is found in the bellies of elder griffins. We do at least know where to find one.
A certain specimen?
You are most perceptive, your grace. In answer to your unspoken... In fact, this is the very same beast your father meant to slay. I have been tracking its movements. Were you to slay it in his stead, as men of House...
What say you, Judge?
What else? Titan's Wake is to the south of you. But we must not be hasty. The good lady has been disappointed once already.
Eyes peeled, Joshua.
There it is. The House Rossfield. Too slow. This one. Over here. Nice try.
Is this the Heartstone?
I expect Lady Goritha will know.
Thank the Founder. The Griffin is slain now.
And the Heartstone.
This radiant luster, like frozen flame, it is just as your father described it. Thank you, my lord. Your father would be...
Lady Goditha.
Thank you, Cyril. If you would excuse me, I shall... The armbands are free. Heartstone is harder and more enduring than garnet, or even... And the graven vines encircling the stone.
It's a message. Enemies who would thwart his vision.
And only if we stood together, as Phoenix and Shield.
Indeed. But this was more, it was a promise.
Thank you for remaining the steadfast.
Forgive me, but there is something I don't quite understand. The Undying told me that after Father died, Mother claimed all of the ducal, even if the armbands were incomplete. So, how?
Because I was the keeper of the vault. Though I was but of the deep love he had for... In the days before the disaster at Phoenix Gate, I discovered that the Duchess had ordered her jewellery be sent away from the castle. I tried to warn your father. When word of the fire reached Rosalith, I knew my time was short.
And thank the Fount.
Yet my duty to your father was incomplete. And so my pursuit continued. He informed me that His Grace's will had been recovered.
Lady Goditha.
As do I.
Thank you, Mike, for coming back to it.
The bands suit you well. It must be gratifying to finally receive...
It is. And we thank you for the part you...
If you would permit me to play my part a little longer, let him see that you have received...
I suppose it would be... What do you say, Clive?
I was hoping to be able to offer him.
Your father's helm is enshrined. Since the day we recovered it, I prithee claim it. For it, and I do not doubt that your father would prefer it.
Thank you. Come on, Clive.
Come on.
Unwavering will and an unbreakable bond. Do you really think we're strong enough?
Save the world? Of course. To have overcome Father's political enemies. Of that I'm less certain. Especially knowing what we know now. What Mother was capable of. But perhaps these bands would have helped. Knowing he was with us would have made all the difference.
It's just back there. Father always fought for what he believed was right. It wasn't until that night at Phoenix Gate that I realized I had never fought for anything. I always had someone else to do the fighting for me.
No matter how fate conspired against him, he never lost heart, never looked back, never stopped fighting. To me, he was the greatest of men. And I've been been trying to live up to his ideals ever since.
We all have, Clive. We all have. And we'll keep trying. Because that's what he would have wanted.
What he would have done himself. Even if it meant standing against the very gods in the heavens.
I shall be borrowing this, Father, if I may. That you might watch over us as we follow in your footsteps.
We won't lay you down.
Onward then.
Onward. To the end.
And to a new beginning.
If Joshua's worried about Jill, Joshua, I read your message. And you're right. Jill is different. I don't think I'd realized how different, but
I suppose it's not hard.
she doesn't think she belongs anymore.
And that's why we need to remind and to let her know that we still need her. But how to do that? When last we were truly close, we were...
Of course. You remember the time we accompanied Father on his annual tour and Jill and I broke from the procession to ride up?
To see the snow days. It was the first time Father had... And when he realized you were missing, he had the entire retinue down to the pot boy's coat.
In the rain. A thunderstorm forced us to take refuge in a grove of oaks before we... It was the Lord Commander who finally found us, and needless to say, he was none too pleased.
Then it seems you and Jill have...
Man's Hill.
Oh, true. Though I suspect it is also much changed. Little in southern Rosario.
You're saying I should go and scout the area?
I'm saying we should... What would you do without me, Clive?
This is the place, but...
I'm sorry, Clive. We keep looking. Man's Hill cannot be the only place.
Perhaps, but it's the only place I know.
Then why not ask someone?
Someone at the backyard. Let's hope one of the gardeners knows where to find snow daisies.
Say what you will. Lady Karen. There should.
What brings you down?
I need your advice. Joshua and I are looking for a place where snow daisies grow.
Snow daisies. Then you'll want somewhere not too... I reckon Man's Hill would be a good place to start. They both have similar climbs and the right elevation.
Right.
Did you learn where we...
The gardener here mentioned the Royal Meadows in Sambrak.
Ah, the fields beyond Northreach. Well, if that's the case, then I recalled that she kept the record of our travel, so I asked her if she'd perhaps noted anywhere that snow daisies grew.
Whose shores border the meadows.
The garrison is threatening to pull their sentries from the markets if we don't...
I would speak with this duke.
Saw the cap... just now.
meadows are vast. Where do we even start?
Yote mentioned the coastline. We can start there. Caution, brother.
Look, brother. See them? I do. The flowers and our friends. What do you see, boy? Let's hope this is the last one.
Only one way to find out.
This one. That was harder than I expected. But found her. It was worth it. They're beautiful.
Do you think Jill will like them?
She'll love them. Come on. Let's go.
It appears my work is done. The rest, well, we wouldn't want another thunderstorm.
Jill, there's something I'd like to
There is? And where might this something be?
It's, how would you fancy a trip to Oriflamme?
There are so many. This is what you wanted to show me. Oh, yeah,
You don't need to say anything. We've been worried about you. Do you remember when I took you to Man's Hill? Or tried to?
How could I forget? You saw me crying and thought a change of scenery might lift my... In the end, it earned me a nasty cough and a stern scolding from your mother.
I'm sorry.
Before we left, my chambermaid told me she'd overheard your mother talking about my marriage prospects. With some of the they were debating whether it would be more profitable to marry me off to one of the high houses instead of saving me for the ducal line. No one thought to ask me what I want. I was nothing to them.
I didn't know.
But I wasn't alone. You were there, and I knew then. No, I'll never forget that feeling. Before we broke camp, the morning after the storm, do you know what I did?
No? What?
I slipped away from my governess to climb the Tor. And from there I saw a sea of petals, all reaching for the sun. And I realized no matter how terrible the night, dawn would always come. That you would always come for me. And you have. Again and again.
Where do you see us? When all this is over?
I don't know. Not here, though. I think I've outgrown the twins. After everything we've been through, the realm just seems so small. I'll need some space to spread my wings.
Then that's what you'll have. And I'll stop at nothing to see that you do.
Was much good at garlands, but it'll have to do.
I'll treasure it forever.
Thank you, Clive, for this, the flowers, for everything. It's exactly what I needed. You are my treasure. We should probably be getting back. I expect the others are wondering where we are.
You're right. There's still much to do.
And we'll do it together.
Crack the crystal. Not a very good one, but then... So, what'll it be? Anything else?
Say what you will.
Pining for something, boy. What is it? What do you see out there? I never did ask where you got that anklet of yours.
From Sid, that's why. On the day he brought him home.
That long ago?
And you're only thinking to ask this now? Slap that there iron on him to keep...
What was wrong, boy?
I'll take like as not. Must have been hard on the poor whelp losing his loving masters at such a young age. Doubly hard in being a frost wolf, torn away from his icons and all. Sid would always tell him, you want that iron gone, you find what it is. I reckon what he were looking for was you.
I'm sorry, Torgal. Sorry for making you wait. Let's get that thing off you.
Doesn't sound like he wants it off.
Indeed. You miss Sid as much as the rest of us, don't you? You want me to go with you somewhere?
Quick, can't you?
Not nearly as much as you have, lady.
Aye, good thing and all. It's not like Gav would have kept him in nuts and rubbed his belly these past...
Your kindness is appreciated.
Only because he doesn't talk back like the rest.
Where to then, Torgal?
Say what you will, Lady Karen has seen herself.
All right, Torgal. Where are you taking me? I'm going to need a little bit more than that, boy. Do you have a better hint for me? Unless... you've already given me one. Back on the rear deck. Why don't we try the... I have... To port is older then. Fingers crossed the old mooring is still... It's still here. A lot smaller than I remember, and you're a lot bigger.
You two go on without us.
We'll be waiting.
Thank you. All right. Hop. This place hasn't changed at all. The rookery's right through those trees. Come on. Race you there? I bet I could still beat you. Here we are. This was our hideaway. Wasn't it, Torgal? Coming here helped me to forget who I was. Or wasn't. Prince, shield. Son his mother could love. Had I been any one of those things? Perhaps. What is it, boy? This is all from the castle. And Phoenix Gate. Did you bring these here? My sparring sword. Well. You never stopped looking for me, did you, boy? Thank you, Torgal. For never giving up. For never forgetting. Let's take this with us, shall we? So I don't forget either. That's not the way back to the boat, Torgal. All right. I'm coming. I think I know where we're going. People always talk about the importance of putting the past behind you. But without it, we wouldn't be who we are today. And we certainly couldn't steer our way to a better tomorrow. Come on, Torgal. Let's go home. Sorry for the wait. We're ready.
Do you see that too?
Papa?
What is it? Oh, please.
I'm scared.
Can't be Rutherford, can it?
Turncoats and cowards, the lot of you! If it's a fight...
Allow me.
I don't need...
Please, Field. This won't take long.
You're right. It what, man?
A little longer than I'd have liked. Field Marshal Havel, I presume. Are either of you injured?
No, my lord.
Fucking traitors. I'd heard reports of soldiers in the outlying regions, but I hadn't thought the corruption had reached... It's a fucking Your interfering old bastard of an uncle tried to warn my lord Marquis. Or is Sid the outlaw more to your life?
Call me what you want. It doesn't change who I am. Or the urgency of the message I bring. My uncle...
Before I'd have you answer, what do you stand to gain from all this?
I won't deny that I might benefit from further chaos. But I seek a new beginning, and while the choices I've made, I know I'm for so long. So many of us have been told how we could live, when it should have been our decision all along. But in order to take it, we must stand together. Even...
Certainly not the words I expected from an outlaw. You are, no. I'll never hear the end of this. All right. I'll start by ordering my most Next, I'll make contact with my counterparts in the Imperial Army and see if I can't...
Thank you, Field.
But they are not the only...
What do you mean?
I don't doubt that I can bully some sense into a few generals. But those they answer to require a different kind of pursuit. We will need an envoy. One who can court...
I'm flattered. And I have other problems too. What we need is a skilled arbitrator.
Is that so? And would he...
Of a different kind.
Well, I suppose we'll all have to find a little of the outlaw in ourselves if we're to make it through this.
I shall.
My Lord Marquis, your Lord Uncle bade me escort the Field Marshal to...
And I will see that my associate...
Very good.
An envoy. I can barely convince my brother to take his medicine. Someone like Quentin. Quentin.
Do you now? Something tells me you'll be asking more of... Go on, then. You'd have me convince the chiefs and chamberlains of the realm that they should simply... and do the one thing that has proved impossible for thousands of years. Was there anything else? Perhaps...
I know it's a lot to ask, but I can think of none better suited to the role.
And you'd have me give up what little I have left to do it. I told you, Clive. The people of Lostwing are my family, and I cannot abandon them. You'll have to find someone...
I'm sorry to...
And why might that be?
What he's asking. As they want you to speak for those who can't speak for themselves. That's what you do. If it's the we'll see that the grapes are picked and the tons filled. You know we will.
It's not that.
Then what is it?
You know that's not...
Then what are... that only we are worth saving? Why turn your back on everyone else? You convinced... Who's to say you couldn't convince the entire...
A stirring argument. I fear that any rejoinder I make might fall somewhat flat.
So you'll join us?
Where do you need me?
Field Marshal Havel will want to speak with you in person. I can arrange for a party of Cursebreakers to...
That would be very much appreciated. I hear the roads are far from...
My uncle will want to know that his plan is taking shape. Uncle, the Field Marshal has...
Of course!
Rutherford is accompanying him back to your manor in... They will await your return there.
One other?
Lord Havel was concerned that even if he could get the realm's armies to agree to an accord, he might not be as successful in convincing those with political power. He asked if I might have a solution, and I suggested a certain Imperial Lord Magistrate.
One of your
Master Quentin would probably call me one of his.
Another outlaw? Just the thing we need to put these rotten politicos in their places. Good thinking, Clive.
I'm glad you approve.
The more the merrier, eh?
Uncle, assuming Havel and Quentin can solve our... You still haven't mentioned how we might manage the Grange.
Oh, don't you? The 7 high houses will be... They have all agreed to make the most... Oh, of course, it did take a little... But luckily I had some...
From who?
Why, you, my boy. Rumor has it that you rescued the Lady Ariane's head steward, Rockford, from a horde of blood...
It was more of a hand.
Well, the old battle axe, she had a shipload of talents delivered to my private docks, and when the other houses saw the parsimonious old crone's purse strings finally loosen, they as good as tripped over themselves in the... Now, I must join us there at your earliest convenience.
Of course,
And how, pray tell, will we get that grain to the capital if the road just...
You'll find another bloody road. I only have so many men, and I'm not about to send them headlong into an ether flood. That is, unless you'd have them turn as well.
Well, I'd certainly eat less.
Says the man with a belly bigger than a band of curls. My soldiers actually need their rations. Without any food to keep them going, they'll be dead even before you've sent them on your fool's errand.
If I may, gentlemen, perhaps I might suggest an alternative approach. Though supply routes are indeed disrupted, there is no shortage of ships. Indeed, they bob away in every bay from here to Randalar, awaiting a safe haven. Allow them to make port and fill their bellies full of grain. And once those who crowd the cities are fed, ferry the displaced back to the countryside to work the fallow fields. But I'm sure that you wish to continue. Two such firm friends as yourselves need... Rutherford spoke fondly of the great bond.
Us?
I can't stand the man!
Clive, I'm beginning to question the quality of the company.
And what kind of company were you expecting him to...
Criminal? How? You are not fit to breathe the same air as this fine, upstanding...
Upstanding? He calls himself Sid the bloody outlaw!
Once more onto the breach.
Shall we begin again? What we seek here is not to create a new nation, nor we wish simply to bring stability to the realm that mankind... And to do that, we must convince those in power that there will be disagreements, yes. And I imagine some, if we show them the path, show them the fate of the world lies in my nephew, but the well-being of her people lies in our...
Uncle Byron.
Now, with that settled, let's... For what great moment in history has... Citizens of Valisthea, I present to you the Tri-Unity. Rutherford, my quill. Well, my boy, the stage is set.
That it is.
This is the role you were born. For we shall play our parts to the best of our abilities, that you might have the opportunity to shine. The realm needs its Sir Crandall. And there is no better Crandall than you, Clive. I want you to keep this signed accord as proof of our faith in you.
I will. Thank you, Uncle.
What do you think that thing is? And how the hell is it going to...
Help you today, Clive? Come to claim your just desserts? You earned this. Come again. I may... have more for you.
Vivian, I read your note, and I'd be happy to help you find the book you're looking for.
Thank you, Clive. But tracking it down will not be easy. Are you sure?
Please. It's only right that I return.
You are too... Alas. What I spoke with Hippocrates to see if he had any... But perhaps it is best that you hear the details from him.
If you say so.
Forgive me, Clive, for asking this of you. But this book... it set me on the path.
Clive, my boy. What a pleasure it is.
Hippocrates, I've been charged with locating a book.
And you seek a rare one whose name I had not...
Right as always, but she didn't seem keen to tell me very much.
And yet I gather it did not. Clive, if the young professor has tasked you with obtaining a copy, I fear she asks the impossible. The executors would not allow it.
The executor?
Coveters of secret clandestine organization committed to the collection one such text being the tome Vivian seeks, chronicling as it does the truest, a tale which could overturn the established order were all, so rumor has it,
How is it that I haven't heard of this?
Why? Secrecy. They lurk in the shadows, emerging only to seize that which
would explain why Vivian's copy was snatched from her
by the hand of the
But what drives them?
Fine quest, sadly. All that is, you may just as soon ask me of their origins, numbers.
And my hunt was doomed from the first. What was Vivian expecting?
Not from thin air, no. Rumors of the executors are rife, but rather less so. I had a friend in the village of... Alas, I have heard naught from... But, though he did not mention it by name, it is possible, if you were, by some chance, a...
Very well. I'll be sure to pay... My village looks abandoned. Now, which house would a bookworm live in? This is a Royal Army logbook. Did he take this from the local barracks? His interests were certainly varied. This is it. But if what it says is true, I need to get this back to the hideaway.
Leaving so soon, stranger? We've been watching you. From a distance, so to speak.
Subtle. I know who you are.
Then we need not waste time on introductions. Hand me the book. Leave it in our care and return to your life.
Your care? Do you mean to burn it or bury it?
That is not my decision to make. But by one means or another, its contents shall be removed from the common record.
Then I'll have to politely refuse. I won't let you erase our history.
Then we find ourselves at an impasse. Very well. The book can just as easily be pried from your dead hand.
Let's see, shall we?
Impressive. But we have other means.
Why do you want it so bad?
It lays out in no uncertain terms the vanity. It tells the shameful history of the persecution and oppression. Would you say that this interpretation was correct?
I don't know.
You don't? Your sword may be sharp, so let me answer. There is no correct. That a series of events took place may be proved beyond a doubt. It is a question of numbers. And if enough people believe that a set of events are...
So you're trying to control the...
We are trying to protect people from knowledge that would bring... That is all. You may keep the book. The world is small until then.
Wait. Damn it. Let's get this back to Vivian. Vivian. I found it.
You found it. Thank you. Even though I asked this of you, I was not entirely sure it would. I feared the executors had seen...
I met with one of the... and I convinced him to let me... He told me something, that the truth is just a matter of... and that if enough people believe a lie...
It does, but it also means that the truth is not immutable. Provided that those who wish to change it can convince enough people... As the sad history of the...
You said that the book inspired you to...
It did. She was a heretic, you see. A firebrand and a dissent. A gallows stood ready for her in every... And by shunning society, or perhaps being shunned by it, she stumbled upon... I, too, have always felt somehow set apart from the world of men. She taught me that my solitude was not a... And that, though my journey to the truth might be a lonely one, what I found at my destination would be more than what...
Do you still feel that way? That you're not... one of us?
Honestly? I'm not entirely sure. Perhaps the result of studying mankind from a rather... But the more I study, the more I find value in this perspective. In looking not so, if you'll permit me, remember, Clive, give the men and women of this benighted world the gift...
I'll try, Viv. It's usually me making demands of Hippocrates. I wonder what this is. Doris is waiting for me near Balmung Dark. The longer she's out in the open, the more likely she is to be found by a Kashik. I need to hurry.
Stay down!
Get him!
Over here!
There were no guards, I take it?
None manning the gates. It's a different story inside, though. The corridors are... If Chadwick was being held here...
Don't give up hope just yet. Let me check the ground floor.
Then I'll search the upper level.
Just how bad are the floods inside the walls? Bad enough to turn a bearer? I hope not. We're risking a lot just being here. Better keep my eyes open for signs. Locked up tight. So this place was no... And I doubt they'll have taken the creature with them. Minimal loss of Waloda lives. And what happens when even the Imperials take better care of... They were feeding bearers to it. Nothing but a caching down here. Hopefully things are looking better upstairs. I should go and see how Doris is getting on.
We're not alone.
No lock downstairs. But I did find out.
I know. I've been reading bearers die every day in service of their masters, but this is so much worse. Pitting bearers against a wild beast armed with nothing but their wits? And not just those who could fight, but and those who wouldn't, or could.
I'm afraid.
Then we're too late.
Don't say that.
A key.
Perhaps it will fit one of the doors downstairs. There's a corridor I haven't searched yet. Finish up here, then come and find me when you're ready.
All right. I'll be there in a moment.
Let's see what we can find down here. A survivor. And she sounds close.
Who are you?
There's no need to be afraid. Are you alone? Are there any other survivors?
Some of the guards. They're still here. But something's wrong with them. Everyone else was eaten by the monster.
Thank the...
It was worth our coming. But I'd rather we didn't linger. Are you ready?
Ready when you are. You poor thing. You must have been terrified. What?
He fought them on. He must have sent you. Where is he?
Chadwick.
Was that?
Monster's back! Chadwick, help!
We have to get out of here.
Doris.
All right. You put that... I'll look after the girl. You teach that thing a...
It's out there waiting for me. I can't let it live. Not if it's got a taste for bearers. Finally.
Sid, are you hurt?
I'm fine. I think.
No.
What is it?
A diary. I gave it to Chadwick before we went our separate... He was here.
I'm sure he fought bravely to the last.
Chadwick...
Come on. We have to get her back to the hut.
No. I'll see that she's looked after from now on.
From what I hear, you've barely left the girl's side in days. I hope she's recovering from her ordeal.
She is. Slowly but surely. I thank the flames we've...
I know. I'm sorry we weren't...
There's no need to apologize. How he fought to the bit. That's the man I remember.
I wish I could have met. I'd like to hear more about your past.
Of course. You already met my former master. She trained Chadwick and I to do two things. We were supposed to be sold to the highest bidder when the time came. For years, we were her daggers in the shadows. But we could never quite shake our doubts, so we escaped. But staying after so many years of training, the pull to serve was always strong.
But even in captivity, the battles even he died, not as someone's tool.
Haida Marie is proof of that. Bearers and the Cursebreakers will... I'll fight until my dying breath to...
Thank you, Doris.
All this time, my heart has wandered hither and thither in search of the perfect companion. When all along he was here, standing right beside me. All this time, my heart has wandered...
Ned, if you have a...
That's it! I knew it! The answer was right here under my arse all along! If this doesn't steer to the skies, nothing will!
To the skies? You aren't trying to give the Enterprise wings, are you?
What else would I be doing?
The children seem to think you're avoiding them. They're worried about you. Is this really so important that you need to shut yourself away from everyone?
The Enterprise is already the fastest ship in the realm, and that's with the sea beneath her. But what if she weren't bound to the waves? What if she weren't bound to anything at all? It's not fair. The gods get the skies all to themselves, so I'm gonna do something about it. The Fallen had their chance, but they relied too much on magic. And see where that got them? But not me. Well, almost.
And is that a one-woman job?
Are you volunteering? I'll have you know the Enterprise, but if her godfather's offering to lend a hand, I'd be happy to take it. First, I'll need oil, and not just some old drippings from Miss Molly's spits in the Tub and Crown. Refined stuff, like they make in Ordill. Then I'll need some bone, or shell. Light, strong, preferably...
If it's beast bones you're after...
No, they'll know where you might find some. You're the one who...
I should speak with one of the Cursebreakers before I set off for Old Hill. See if I can't find this bone while I'm there as well.
Has Midadol mentioned a new project yet?
All right, Sid.
Only if you aren't. Mid needs a piece of light but durable bone for her next project. You've encountered...
Most bones are the same. Well, if it's durability you're looking for, shell will serve you better.
I do. Will any old adamant...
Well, with shells, the older the harder. There's a rumour of an... but don't expect to make quick work of the bastard.
I'll keep that in mind. Mid's oil. After what happened here, it's a miracle there was any left at all.
Go, Corporal!
This should be enough. Here we are again. Carava. If you were a tortoise, Torgal, where would you hide? It looks like we found it. I better get these materials to Mid so she can finish her prototype. Mid, tell me this is all you need.
Aw, you make it sound like I asked you to save the world or something.
Tell me this is all you need.
It's most of what I need. After you left, I went over the figures again, and I realized I'd forgotten a under cogwheel. Gears that small are a bastard to make, and I may have lost the one Blackthorn spent a fortnight toiling over.
Wait, the children. When they took apart yours, now that I think about it, they didn't use it.
The young'uns? But why would the... I'll keep working on the model.
Has Midadol mentioned a new project yet?
Sid! Is Mid still hiding from us?
She wasn't hiding. She's fine. She's just busy working on her next project.
A new invention? What is it? What is it? Is it an airship? I bet it's an airship!
Do you think she'll let us help?
That just so happens to be why I'm here. A brass gear. A tiny one.
Oh, the one...
We saved it, just in case.
Since your lesson, we've been disassembling, then all the pieces that are left over, we keep under our beds.
That's...
Look! I found it! Is that all? Just a gear? We have more parts if Mid needs them.
That's all for now. But I'll let Mid know about your... hoard. Just in case.
Thanks, Sid.
Well, did they have it?
They did. And they kept it somewhere nice and safe.
Will it work? He's perfect! You're a genius, Clive.
What exactly are you going to...
Only the most... The wings aren't going to move on their own. But with the... Well... That should do it. Here goes nothing. Titan's tits.
It wasn't supposed to fly, was it?
Of course it was supposed to fly. Wouldn't be much of an airship if it didn't. Honestly, these bloody engines are driving me mad. I was so sure this would be the day she soared. The Mithril engine was made to make dreams come true. But maybe this is one dream the world's better off without. Show folk how to take flying. It won't be long till they're raining death down on each other. People will lose their homes. Children, their mums and their dads. Like I lost mine.
I'm sorry.
So am I, Clive. So am I. Sorry that I have to choose. Do I follow my head, or do I follow my heart?
Good question. The first time I stood on the deck of your ship, felt the wind in my hair. It was like I was flying. But imagine how it would feel to actually do it.
My dad always said there were two ways of living life. Chasing a dream or shuffling to your grave. And he were right. Right about a lot of things. Not that I like to admit it. People need dreams to chase. Especially in a world like this. Right. When this is over, I'm gonna take all my Mithril engines to Zemeckis and sling them over the edge. I won't have my dream end up turning into someone else's nightmare.
But all that hard work...
All that hard work will not be used for war, Jamie. But it ain't like it'll be gone. Tell me, Clive, have you ever been on a treasure hunt?
Not since Joshua and I were boys. Why do you ask?
Because I'm gonna bury the engine schematics and leave behind a little riddle telling people where to find them. A really hard one, so that only the most dedicated dreamers will ever be able to work it out. Ooh, I can picture it now. Some daft general squinting at the words with a gormless expression on his mug. Like that one, yeah.
Right.
Of course, if I'm putting this engine at the end of a treasure hunt, I'll still need to make it a treasure worth hunting for. Won't be much of a prize if it couldn't even make a toy boat fly after all. My dad always said, dream big. But it ain't the size of a dream that's important, is it, Clive? Only that it's a good one. And I reckon I've got a fair few good uns left in me.
I'm sure you do.
I'm nervous.
Well met, Sid. This is the initiate. Ember?
You'll serve...
Please, just Sid.
Oh, of course. The sergeant says you'll be evaluating me at my trial.
To become a scout, yes. You are a...
I am. But I swore I'd...
Who would that be?
Gav. It was him who found me and freed me. No magic, no support, just one man. It taught me what one man can... And I've been training ever since. So that one day...
You clearly have good intentions, Ember. And it's...
So...
You haven't even... Not far from here is an Imperial lookout, Eastwatch. The guards there record all their sightings in a logbook. You are to and bring it here.
And bring it here, right.
No. Sneaking into a heavily guarded Imperial out, you'll need to assess the situation. Determine a point, all without being discovered, and from...
Ember, Gav isn't our best scout because he can do everything. It's essential that you know your limits.
Know my limits, right. I won't let you down.
It shouldn't be as dangerous as I made out. But keep a weather eye on him all the same.
On my way. All right, Ember. Impress me. These are clean kills. Perhaps young Ember really is ready. Or maybe not. Damn it.
Ember, draw your sword!
I can't!
Then run!
If you want him, you'll have to go through me.
Over here! This one. All yours for me. Kill! Go for it! Okay.
Ember, are you... Gone. Of course. Scouts really are a rare breed. Back to Northreach it is then.
I didn't... Where is Ember?
He must have fled. He was just standing there. Didn't even draw his sword. He was nowhere to be seen.
I knew the boy had a nervous streak.
The right man for the job. I believe this is the logbook you tasked me with retrieving.
How did you... Don't you tell me you breached the tower while Sid was busy saving your skin.
What? Wasn't that what you asked me to do? To bring the thing back without getting caught?
He has you there, Nazaire. And he did it all on his own.
But Sid!
He did what he thought was best.
Of course. Don't you leave my...
Yes, Sergeant.
This won't be an easy decision.
So you are content to abandon... Please, I beseech you. If you are a true son of Northreach, you must fight to defend your home.
That's exactly what or trying to, at least.
Even when our true enemy is fine. Thank you so much.
She cornered you too, then?
Could hardly get a word in, like father-like.
She made an uninvited appearance at the... hoping to convince the dame to join.
I bet that. Anyway.
Our mutual friend thought you might welcome...
Oh, she did. Right, as always. We've had some reports, you see.
They're back.
Seems that way. We haven't been able to confirm anything yet, but if you're willing...
Right.
You know Grieger's Weep?
I'm on my way.
Thank you, Clark. I'll look into one of the other sightings.
Damn it. The reports were true. I need to stop them before they get to the town.
It's over!
Call that a test, Ultima?
Clive, it's me. Are you all right?
I am. But it seems the reports were true. The thralls have returned. I dispatched the few that I found, though.
Well, that's something, I suppose. But what were they doing south of town? They all came from the north last time. We might be able to fend off an attack from one side or the other.
But from both?
Do you have eyes in the north?
Some. I should probably go and have a look, though, just to be sure. Now, you head back to Northreach. I want you there just in case war breaks out while I'm away.
What do you mean?
Her ladyship's been busy working her magic on the townspeople, stirring up ill feeling towards her father. But she'll have her marching on the barracks if we're not careful.
What? This is exactly what the Dane was afraid of. I'll do what I can to calm things down. Be careful out there, all right?
Don't worry, I'm not like you. One sniff of those things and I'm running back to town screaming blue murder.
Do you not see, Father? The people of Northreach have given enough, and only a fool would ask for more.
Listen to me, Sabine. Where would our people be without their country, hmm? The Empire is their sword and their shield. It is she that ensures they can live without fear. And now she teeters on the brink. Without their sword, how will the people fight? Without their shield, how will they protect their kin? Can the unarmed stand against the advancing hordes? No. But there is yet hope. A new shield, a new sword. A new empire. We can rebuild Sandbreck, just as Great Grieger wills it.
Perhaps we could, Father. But we don't want to. Not if it is built on the broken backs of the people.
Please, let us not quarrel in the street. You must see that no good will come of this. Our fight is not with each other, but with the threat that draws ever closer to our gates. A threat that your sword has yet to rid us of, Your Eminence.
You will hold your tongue, whore! You may have filled my daughter's head with your heresy, but I will not be corrupted.
Corrupted? Your daughter's opinions are her own, as you would know if you had ever deigned to listen to her. At least I hope they are your opinions, and not posturing born of a family feud. Northreach deserves better than that.
Northreach deserves better than you, Carla. Yes, I know who you are. The slut of Twinside who bedded a Branded.
Jealous, are you? That a woman might choose a bearer over a pious man of Grieger.
Clive! I met a swarm of thralls coming south from Oriflamme. Hundreds of them. Too many to count.
No. Work on the fortifications has scarcely begun. We will retreat to Caer Norvent and there make our stand. Did you hear me? That was an order!
While this is but a heartfelt plea, let us make our stand here and protect our homes. Protect those that we love. Together, for Northreach!
You heard the dame. What are we waiting for? Pikemen to the gates. Archers to the roofs. Quickly, come on!
But she is but a common...
whore, yes. And we'd follow her to the gates of hell. The men have their orders, and they look like following them. I got them spaced out at regular intervals. Whichever direction the thralls strike from, there'll be someone there to meet them.
Thank you, Philippe. Rest assured, the people will play their part. The herbalist has donated her stock of medicines to me. Should any of your men be injured, take them to the Vale. We'll see to them there.
Thank you, milady. I will.
I'll play my part too. You still want for numbers. Unlike the enemy. I only hope I can go some way to evening the odds. Philippe, can I leave the South in your hands? I doubt the thralls by the lake were the last of their number.
Of course. I'll lead a party down that way so we don't get taken by surprise. What about you?
I'll make my way up the road to Oriflamme. I fought a few of these things. And while I can't promise to hold them all back, I should be able to thin the herd.
All right. But take care.
Thank you. Both of you.
You can thank us when it's over.
Till then, madame.
When the fight begins.
There are so many of them.
Not for long.
Is it over?
No. It's only just begun. Get him! That looks to be the last of them. I wonder how the others fared. Better hurry back to town. Come on, Torgal.
Clive, it's good to see you.
And you. The road to Oriflamme is clear. How did you and your men fare?
Well, we ended up fighting for our lives down by the lake. Took a few nicks, but nothing the girls of the Vale can't put right.
Glad to hear it.
Well, it seems we've survived. For the time being, at least. I thank you both for answering the call.
You were right. And I was wrong. About everything. I had thought that the only way to unite the people was under the banner of Empire. That without a strong hand to guide them, they would drift apart. To be borne hither and yon by the eddying currents of fate. But you brought them together. Not by force, nor by the exercise of goddess-given authority, but by simply being one of them. By knowing what they feel, because you feel it yourself.
Our purpose was ever the same, Your Eminence. You were merely distracted by a loftier vision of empire and glory, while our eyes beheld matters closer to home.
You have the right of it again. As did you, Sabine. His radiance said it himself. Sanbreque is naught without her citizens. I forgot that. And I am sorry.
I'm sorry too, Father. I should never have taken things so far. I only wanted you to understand how the people felt. How I felt. But my anger got the better of me.
Do not blame yourself, my dear. This was my doing. I should have listened to you. To all of you.
Your Eminence, your ladyship, I do not doubt that you came here with the best of intentions. But I believe the same could be said of us all. We all want safety, security, prosperity. Not just for Northreach, but for the entire realm. And we may yet achieve it. If only we work together. Will you join us in this?
Yes. We shall.
Thank you, Your Eminence. Now that that is settled, I must go and see to the wounded. The Vale's doors are always open to any soldier in need of relief. And today there are more than ever before.
Madame Isabel is a rare soul indeed. In these dark times, I see that it is not men like me who should...
You're right.
Forgive me for saying so, milady. The dame said it herself. We can turn things around, and that goes for you. You're one of us now.
One of you?
Well said, Captain.
Well, I should see if Isabel needs any help.
Can we get you anything? There's no need to worry any longer.
I saw several soldiers being carried to the Vale.
How goes the tree? I'll be happy to man one end of it. Don't mention it.
Oh, but I must.
Tell me, if Northreach had fallen, what would you have done? I sense you would rather have done. For you, madame, I have all the time.
Very well. I was Carla then. So sought after was I that it was only they. Alas, for naive as I was, I fell in love with her. He was my master's guard. After they discovered us together, he was whipped bloody and so we fled. Not that we had anywhere to flee to. We wandered until we found ourselves here. It was the Vale that fed us. Those that could be healed, at least.
He passed away.
He did. But at least we were able to share a few moments of peace. It was the greatest gift. But the generosity of this town, the men and women of the Vale supported me, though I was still a stranger to them. And so I swore that I would return the kind that I would repay.
Thank you, Isabel, for sharing this with me.
Perhaps that is why I have never stopped fighting, and I shan't. I know that it will not be easy to keep Northreach together. The people, the soldiers, all united in defense of this town. And what of you? Can we count on your support?
Always.